welcome back to my channel. I hope you're all doing well, and welcome to today's video, and thank you for 1,000 subscribers. What a way to end my 26th birthday month. With that said, igama by the way, AsandaNtini, and welcome back to my channel. Hope you like it here. Let us speak or end this month the conversation about mental health. This month is Mental Health Awareness Month. It's May, and in May 2021 I participated in a conversation about mental health awareness, and one of the things that I've continued to do and continue to do in my blogging and my videos is to make mental health awareness a thing of every month, every day, a conversation about everything. There are so many things that there are so many conversations about mental health, but I just want to dive into the fact that in as much as these conversations are there, our politicians, our lawmakers, whoever they may call themselves, it's just good buzzword or buzz whatever, but nothing is being done about this. What do I mean? You can't come to work and say, I need a mental wellness day. Here in South Africa, or maybe in the industry that I'm working in, or no, maybe others have that, but it's not a legal rule. It's not something that's part of labor laws that's available to people that are employed to say, okay, you need a mental wellness day, that you're saying you are unfit, you are taking this day maybe once a month, you are allowed to take that day. Once every other month, you are allowed to take that day. Because let me be honest, the times that we're living in require us to take a mental wellness day, a mental health day. Okay, by the way, I'm filming this video while I'm waiting to go to a doctor at 4 p.m. because the doctor next to my place is only available at 4. Not available, but only arrives at his center at 4 to 6, I think. So that's where I'm going. And I'm really not well. I have the fever, I think fever and cold, so I think I got the flu. Like, there's a lot of fluish people where I work, so I think maybe that's where I got it, or it's just a change of season. Whatever it is, I'm just not well. With that said, mental health every month, but I also feel that I'm not doing enough because I'm not seeing much change, especially in the laws, particularly in the labor laws of our country pertaining to mental health and how people are taken care of. Say for example, let's speak about wellness days. Like, one of the proposed things, especially in the mental health space and things that I've spoken about, is sometimes you just need a day where you just recharge, because mental health sometimes just needs you to just tap out of it, but you just need some time to reset, at least one day in a week. Not in a week, I think a week is pushing it, but in a month. But we've not seen those conversations happening, in the sense that it's now a law. We'll see, okay, once every year or once every month, we now allow employees, you're going to add to the sick leave, because it is a sickness, it is an unwellness. If you are unwell because psychologically instead of physiologically, you should be allowed to take that break, because physically you can't function. I know this because I was once out for 5 full weeks, and it turned out it was just physiological, it was psychological and not physiological health that needed attention. 5 full weeks of being somebody who can't function. And if I was not in hospital and just at home, that was not going to be taken as something that's valid. I was going to be taken by somebody who absconded from school or whatever. And if I was employed, I was not going to be paid for it. If I decided, I can't function, I'm not well, unless I go to a psychologist, and that psychologist will take from my physiological health sick days that I have 30 off in 3 years, which is just also very weird. You're only allowed to get sick 10 times a year, 10 days a year. That's just also quite wild. Anyways, yeah, that's why I decided not to do the video, because I feel that mental health is a buzz or a good talking point for our government, for our politicians, for our activists, but I'm not seeing anything on the ground, and I'm including myself as well. I've not gone to any of the relevant authorities and said, I think that we need mental health support or whatever, maybe for candidate attorneys, which is it's the kind of audience that I have, and it's the people that I know suffer a lot from mental health, simply because, one, you're just starting out in the profession. Maybe you're just starting to see how cruel people are if you're working maybe in criminal law, or how cruel families can be if you're working in family law, or you're seeing how bad corporate culture and how corporate is if you're working in commercial law, whichever sector that you're working in. It's a huge mental shift. And if you're going to say, no, I can't take this, I'm taking a break, or I'm quitting, you're going to be called all sorts of things, a CC or whatnot, because you can't function. Whatever it is, you're going to be called all sorts of bad names simply because you needed a mental check-in, or you needed some help mentally, and it's not a good look if you ask people that, if you ask for that. So yeah, anyways, with that said, this is my position with mental health right now. I'm not on any antidepressants, which is good. I decided that I'm not going to be on an antidepressant. I do take natural drops that I take maybe once or sometimes once every 2 weeks, because I don't want to be dependent on them. I saw what being dependent on pills when I was prescribed and put on medication would see. It's not one of the things that I want to do, because I want to be a functioning person and I don't want to be just dependent on medication. Because the thing is, the side effects of just being on drugs is that things that I saw as side effects on my side was getting tired, being sleepy, mood swings shift. Sometimes you don't even know your mood because they're regulating your emotions. So now you don't have a mood, you're like confused. How do I feel? Supposed to be upset, but you can't feel because the pills are working. Then if you get off them, it spirals. So that's why I got off medication. I'm not saying people should get off their medication, especially if you have like severe mental illness or mental issues, such as maybe bipolar, whatever it is that you could injure yourself. I had clinical anxiety, I still have it, especially anxiety. I had clinical anxiety and depression, and diagnosed, and that I could do without the pills, because even my doctor would say take half the prescription, the recommended prescription, because I know the side effects, and it would be better if I say take one, maybe take half of it to see how it works for you, because you don't want to be dependent on these, and they have really negative side effects, which are some of the things that, if you are not lucky like me, I had a really older doctor, a professor at his profession at that time, and he was kind enough to tell me the side effects. It even took time for me to even get on the pills, and he said he's going to put me in a test for only 6 months, and if I don't want it, or if I feel that it's not working for me, I can come back and tell him how is it working, and then we'll decide if other alternative measures are actually possible for me. And they were, and I've been functioning since. It's been a few years at this point without the prescribed drugs. So yeah, and then some of the ways, or some of the things that that make me feel that we're not doing enough for mental health again is that everyone, like every issue, like every person self-diagnoses Why is there no regulation of how people are diagnosed? Like a person goes through a stressful situation and boom, I'm depressed. You're unlikely to be I'm depressed or I'm whatnot. It's depression is an illness. It's a very severe one, and if you feel it, you will see how it's different from just being stressed or being in a stressful situation. For example, you are in traffic, you're getting late for work, where you work in an environment where if you are late, it becomes an issue. You are likely to just be stressed, not depressed. Maybe anxious. You get a panic. That's your what are these things called? That's your fight or flight mode coming through. But you are not depressed, as people would just say, oh, I'm depressed. No, you're not. So I think there should be also regulation, which is why I also feel that a lot of institutions are also ignoring the severity of these illness and of how severe and how bad it can be to suffer with mental health. And the fact that this is ignored is simply mostly ignored is simply because people don't take it seriously, or people just diagnose themselves, or people just use it as buzzword. Today I'm just feeling a bit depressed. Today I just feel a bit anxious. Today I just feel this way and this way, and I think I am, and I need help. Play with it when it's actually something really serious. I even see people now playing with exiting themselves, and like, if I could, I would. And it's not doing justice to I won't call it a movement, but it's not doing justice to people that might need help. Because yes, we all suffer, we all go through stuff. Like life is just wild in these days, but that doesn't mean that every person needs clinical attention. Sometimes you just need to go to a counselor or psychologist, speak to them, and speak to somebody who won't just say, okay, let me just put you on drugs. That's how it's happening especially when you look at people that suffer with certain dysphorias, maybe body dysphoria, gender dysphoria. The only thing that I've seen or heard that psychologists do, or whoever that they are tending to, they usually just put you on, medicate you, or start prescribing things that will change you just medically instead of speaking to you. Like sometimes you just need to speak and reason and come back to reality. That's all you need, and we should make use of those things. It doesn't mean that it doesn't work. So that's why it's very important that people do attend to speaking to people. And yeah, but coming back to the point, when will we get to a point where mental illness, mental unwellness is taken as seriously as physical unwellness? Because we are suffering. Like, a lot of people actually suffer, and with the suffering, people are not taken seriously because a lot of people are just using it as a buzzword, just not taking it as seriously. Sometimes some people like to play victim mentality, and the easiest thing to play victim of these days is mental illness, and that is why we are still backwards when it comes to getting the help that we're supposed to be getting the legal help. Like, by legal help, I mean putting in policies that regulate how does an employer deal with those things. How do we make it illegal for maybe environments to be toxic? How do we regulate the toxicity in work culture and corporate culture? How do we deal with those things? Because especially people my age, they're just coming into the corporate world, and the people that usually are their bosses are people that have been there for some time, or people that have been longing to be in positions of power so that they can use the same tactics that were used to them to further oppress and further just affect the lives of the people ababaphethe. And because the culture is not regulated, like there's no regulation about toxic culture, the only thing you can maybe need to prove is harassment. And how do you prove harassment in form of this person is just toxic, this person is just whatnot? Those are very strict ways of trying to prove it. Look at section 60 of the Basic Conditions of Employment Act. Yes, I think section 60 of the Basic Conditions of Employment Act. I'll link an article that speaks about harassment here. And that's the only form of legal protection you might have when you're trying to deal with toxic culture. But you can't address Guti, this person does this and this and that, and it's affecting me mentally. That can't be held as evidence in a bargaining council, in labor court, and then so it leaves you with the question of what exactly are we doing for mental health, or is it just something that people speak about? And yeah, comment down below, let me know what do you think about mental health, especially in workplaces, mental wellness in workplaces, in professions, because I know a lot of professions who speak about how mental health is not taken seriously. Professions like the medical profession, the legal profession, and especially the legal profession, because you don't, like, even for me, I cannot tell you, Guti, how would I actually address the issue of mental issues that might be faced by a lawyer, because they are so dynamic, they are so different, and it's so hectic. I saw a post that says that it's hardly that you find somebody coming into your office because they have good news, and they want you to carry them, their mental health and as well as their problem. Even somebody who's getting married, they come to the office because they want you to make the other party maybe understand why they need to be married out of community of property and why it's important. Guys, I'm really blocked. I can't hear myself. Maybe I'm shouting, maybe I'm talking too softly. I'm sorry. Anyways, yeah. So all of those things, and you must carry that and put light to every person that's coming to you with their problems. So comment down below and let me know, what do you think should be done for mental health, especially within our profession and other professions as well, but I'm speaking from the perspective of my profession because that's what I'm exposed to. With that said, I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and happy new month. I hope that all your goals, you see your goals coming through, you see things manifesting. One advice I can tell you is that write things down and pray about them and ask God, Guti, this is what I would like for my life, and you will see things manifesting. They might not manifest in ways that you wanted them to, but trust and believe that prayer, manifesting and meditating in the word of God works. So that's my advice in the coming month. And if you are going to be setting goals for June, do that. Ask for guidance in creating those goals. I hope you guys had a blessed month, and thanks again for 1,000 subscribers. Now the road to 2,000 subscribers and road to monetization truly begins. Thank you so much for the love, and I'll see you on my next video. Bye.